All business activity in the Israeli settlements goes to support an illegal situation characterized by human rights violations. Amnesty warned major companies pointing out the human rights violations in the occupied region. According to the United Nations and OECD guidelines, companies do have a social responsibility in the area of human rights. Let me break it down for you. Companies can and should use their influence to stop or reduce human rights violations. For example, those of you who live here in the UK all know the supermarket chain Co-op. They openly say they won't do business in illegal Israeli territories. Now, you might say, well, there's money to be made, and if I don't do business out there, someone else will. And you know what? You're absolutely right. If making more money is the objective, go for it. But you gotta keep in mind that your company's reputation is at stake, especially nowadays with increased consumer awareness, cancel culture, and active social media waves. Remember when everyone was saving Ralph a couple of weeks ago, demanding an end to animal testing? So if there can be a global campaign to ban cosmetic testing on animals, I'm sure there can also be a campaign for Palestinian human lives. I'm not an attorney, but depending on your involvement as a brand, you might even be held legally responsible for those violations. The UN published a list with 112 companies that do business in the occupied West Bank. It's worth checking out. You'll recognize a few companies that seem to be so woke when social issues come up. Turns out they're not so worried about human rights violations in that part of the world. I'm not going to accuse them of having double standards because it's clearly more than just that when you're ignoring UN guidelines. But then again, I guess nobody really cares about any type of guidelines when Palestinian lives are mentioned.